October already. It's hard to believe, but we are starting to feel those fall temperatures. It's certainly chilly walking the dog early in the evening or wrapping up football practice later in the day. And that comes with it a season for real estate that I think most realtors would say market pricing is going to fluctuate a little bit, right? You approach that holiday season where I think people are less willing to move and you've got fewer buyers that are interested in playing ball at that point. And so I think market values are going to fluctuate a little bit, probably on the lower side in the coming few months here, which is totally opposite of what happens in the spring market, right? So my question for you is, does that impact home insurance, right? If the market value of my home theoretically declines 5 to 7% during the off season and then, increases by the same amount during the busy real estate season, is my home insurance impacted by that? And does that matter?
That's a great question, Derek. And I would say two quick things. Number one, you know nothing about football, and certainly nothing about football practice in the fall. And number two, you know nothing about real estate, and neither do I, right? But we're reading
I
some
know about
trends.
fall. I know about fall golf though. Those chilly mornings and racing
Fall
the
golf,
sunset.
double
Yeah.
bogeys. Yeah, we know. But it's a great question, right? Real estate prices are going to fluctuate, right? The market value of your home and my home and all the homes in West Michigan and across our country are going to fluctuate seasonally and certainly over time. But how does that compare to your insurance coverage, right? We are Bora Insurance Group. What are we doing talking about real estate values? Well, a lot of people ask, hey, is my coverage amount on my home reasonable? And they immediately will say, Zillow says it's worth 400 grand, right? Or my assessed value is 360. That really has nothing to do with the home insurance policy nor the coverage on that policy because home insurance doesn't care what your home is worth or what you bought it for or what you could sell it for. It cares about what it would cost to rebuild the home brand new. So the only way you would really have a great idea of exactly what that coverage figure should be is if you just built your home brand new, right? You know you spent $744,000 to build that home. So you're pretty confident that that's the coverage amount you should have. That's what it would cost if you had to rebuild that home today. But for most of us that have a home that's been there for 20, 30, 50, 100 years, uh, it's a challenging coverage decision to make.
So are you telling me that if they rezoned the school district that my home is in and put me into a better school district or a worse school district, and therefore my market value changed, that it doesn't have any impact on my home insurance?
It really doesn't, right? Because the cost to rebuild that home would be the exact same as it was before they made that change. Or they develop a community right across the street. Hey, that's great. That's adding value to this area. A nice new park down the road. That's fantastic for you as a homeowner. But does it impact your home insurance policy? Well, ask yourself, would that change the cost to rebuild my home brand new? Probably not.
Yeah, and a great example would be our relative's home that's on that river slash lake over in the Midland area on the east side of the state. Unfortunately, there was that catastrophic dam failure, and that area that people were in love with for boating and fishing and having all
Yeah.
that waterfront lifestyle, it disappeared. And now you've got trees and roots and grass growing in this area that used to be this beautiful lake. Um, Market value obviously got cut in half, maybe even worse. But home insurance remained exactly the same, right? Because the home insurance is just looking at building that house brand new.
Exactly. So the takeaway is this estimate. I mean, sure, there's some relation, of course. A bigger home is probably worth more in your estimate. It would cost more to rebuild, but that's really simplifying the coverage amount that should be on your home insurance policy. Really, you want to talk with a builder friend, talk to your neighbor that did an addition or a renovation, get a feel for what it would cost to rebuild a home
That
similar
might
to
make you
yours.
throw up, though, I've heard these
That
days.
would. It's going to certainly turn you off from the renovation you're planning. But also talk to your insurance agent, right? Most of them, like us, we have software that is developed by the construction industry to try to estimate what it would cost to rebuild a home brand new. It's not going to be perfect, right? It's just an estimate and it's based on software. but that can give you a really nice ballpark or maybe an anchor point to consider, hey, do I feel good about the coverage on my policy? None of us are planning on our homes burning down, right? Same thing happened for your neighbor or that guy across town whose home did burn down. He wasn't planning on that either. But when that happens, you can't go back and fix it. So you want to be confident in what you have beforehand so that if it ever came to that, you're going to be able to rebuild your home brand new using your insurance coverage, not pitching in out of pocket.
Makes sense.
Eric, thanks for joining us today. Anyone that has questions or would like to discuss the coverage on their policy or what their coverage looks like and how it would play out, we are here to help at Bora Insurance Group. Click below, give us a buzz, shoot us an email. We're always happy to connect. Thanks for joining us.